I got it. When I first came to town, they called me the Roving Jew. Now they've changed their tune, they call me Katie Crew. Through the woods I go, through the swamp and mire, straight way down the road till I come to my heart's desire. If I was where I would be, I'd be where I am not. Here I am where I must be, where I would be, I cannot. When I first came to town, they bought me drinks aplenty. Now they've changed their tune, they bring me the bottle empty. Through the woods I go, through the swamp and mire, straight way down the road till I come to my heart's desire. If I was where I would be, I'd be where I am not. Here I am where I must be, where I would be, I cannot. Woods I go, through the swamp and mire, straight way down the road till I come to my heart's desire. When I first came to town, they bought me drinks aplenty. Now they've changed their tune and they bring me the bottle empty. If I was where I would be, I'd be where I am not. Here I am where I must be, where I would be, I cannot. Wide awake before the dawn, my purpose and my purse are gone. I can't go on, I will go on. battle's lost before the sword is drawn, my shield and helmet put in pawn. I can't go on, I will go on. Time the thief is come and gone, and left defenseless on my own. I can't go on. Newborn cries, and that's the start of songs and sadness, love and war, a rush of language from the heart, windows, madness, lamps and doors, metonym and metaphor, it's words alone, nothing else, except the stories silence tells. There is no creature stranger than this beast they call my fellow man. I can't go on, I will go on. Who denies the earth but claims the moon, and staggers to the fiddler's tune, born too late and he dies too soon. First breath in, last breath out, birth's entrenchment, life's redoubt. I can't go on, I will go on. I've lost all the things I thought I owned. Now I find that they were merely loan. I can't repay, so I can't stay. My dreams were stolen by the dawn. My purpose and my pulse are gone. The battle's lost before the sword is drawn. No peace has been agreed upon. And weak as an abandoned pawn I seek to, but I can't go on. Go on, I can't go on, oh, but I'll go on. Well, there you go. Welcome to the live stream for this lovely cold and rainy day here in our new digs in Brooklyn. You might notice that they've lowered the ceiling. Actually, what they did was they lowered the tenants. They took us down and put us in a basement apartment, which is better than it sounds, and we're happy to have this rather than being out looking for a new place in this particular apartment hunting climate. And my wife and I are just settling in, so if I were to turn this screen around a little bit, you'd see a lot of chaos. I'll keep the frame just so it looks like we're organized here. I'm Bert Lee. This is an hour to an hour and a half of original music. If you are here and you are listening, and I know I do have some listeners, and you have access to chat and you feel like it, just say hi on the chat stream there so I know who I'm playing for. It's always nice to know who I've got on the line here. I'm going to just keep on going with this kind of finger-picking, folky stuff for a little bit. And then after a while, I'm going to be doing a bunch of songs from my to-be-released on Friday album called Swimming in Falling Water, which was co-produced by the wonderful Dan Simpson from Key West, Florida, now living in Asheville, North Carolina. Great engineer, beautiful studio mixer, inspiration to work with. I've done 2 great projects with him, and I'm happy to be doing this one. Anyway, mostly this will be original music, occasional traditional tunes thrown into the mix. I don't want to do too many covers. Apparently, YouTube doesn't like you to do covers, and you lose brownie points or something when you do that. Which is sad, because the public wants covers. I get that. I understand. I do understand. But I promise you my songs are good. If you haven't heard them, sit back and enjoy. If you have heard them and there's one you'd like to hear and you know I still do it, because I've written so many over the years, I might have forgotten this one, just say, would you do da-da-da-da in the chat stream, and I'll see what I can do for you. This tune is an homage to Bob Dylan, and as such, it was based on a photograph I saw in the Gothamist magazine of him welding together a giant metal sculpting, which turns out to be a hobby of his. And when I looked at the sculptings, they were remarkably like Picasso's work, thrown together the hoods of cars and this of that. And it reminded me of the way that he writes his songs. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. I'll give you salt for silver if you'll only make the trade. This poetry, these melodies are things that I have made. I've woven them from songs I've heard, from stories I've been told. I'll give you salt for silver, lest you offer gold. Gonna build a big machine, a mechanical collage. Gonna build it in the workshop, in the back of my garage. It's gonna be a wild contraption made of cogs and wheels and gears and discarded bits of everything I've gathered through the years. And when I get to singing it, it's gonna make an awesome sound, like thunder in the mountains or an earthquake underground. When I'm done, they're gonna ask me, Bob, just what does that thing do? And I'll turn around and ask them, man, well, what's it do for you? Gonna write a crazy song, don't know what it's gonna mean. Might be plain, might be a puzzle, might be something in between. Gonna populate the verses with people from my dreams. Might point to something deep, or maybe just be what it seems. Oh, and when I get to singing it, it's gonna make an awful noise. Oh, but I really can't be bothered by the folks my voice annoys. When I'm done, they're gonna ask me, Bob, what does that thing do? And I will turn around and ask them, man, well, what's it do for you? Do I really have to tell you that is just the way I roll? I'm just a simple farm boy with a complicated soul, who set out first to follow it in Woody Guthrie's tracks, to sing about the common man and the burdens on their backs. I'm gonna write an epic novel, a mountain range of prose. Might turn the tide of history or turn all my friends to foes. It's gonna be a wild concoction made of thoughts and words and prayers, though there might be nothing underneath when you peel away the layers. Oh, if I fail in that ambition, I'm gonna put away my pen, put on ordinary clothing, go and walk the world of men. Gonna look in all their faces, at the stories in their eyes, hope that all the misery I see there makes me wise. Do I really have to tell you that is just the way I roll? I'm just a simple farm boy with a complicated soul, who set out first to follow in Woody Guthrie's tracks, to sing about the common man and the burdens on their backs, who got waylaid in the city by the beatniks and the clowns, and the grief that always comes to you from mixing ups and downs, who tried his hand at Jesus and then suffered a relapse and had to rebuild his ideas from all these bits and scraps. I'll give you salt for silver if you'll only make the trade. This poetry, these melodies are things that I have made. I've woven them from songs I've heard, from stories I've been told. I'll give you salt for silver unless you offer gold. A salt for silver, and it appears that our landlord, who lives right upstairs, has decided to take this opportunity to move furniture around on the floor. I hope that doesn't bother you too much. That's one of the things we've heard they do from time to time. And here we go. This is a song about my neighborhood. Our old Italian neighborhood is excuse me. There we go. Our old Italian neighborhood has turned Chinese, maybe for good. Water, water everywhere. The ghetto has been gentrified. The first folks have been pushed aside. Doesn't matter if it's fair. It's the same thing everywhere. The Indians that once lived here, they made their trade in hunting deer. Water, water everywhere. They made a bargain with the Dutch that really didn't leave them much, but the Dutchmen didn't care. Water, water everywhere. Now the hippies have all moved upstate. The hipsters came to take their place. Maybe the only difference is the hair. And the little shops you could afford to shop in now, they all are boarded, but the building owners, they don't care. It's the same thing everywhere. But the water just goes where it will. You know it always flows downhill. Rivers running everywhere. And who are we? You're not a kid. They just always did. Just goes where it's meant to be. Flowing till it finds the sea. Water, water everywhere. Now the music clubs have all shut down. New York is a rich man's town. It doesn't matter if it's fair. And the only music that remains is while you're waiting for the trains. You can tip them if you care. It's the same thing everywhere. But the money just goes where it must. It's all about the boom or bust. Buddy, have you got a dime to spare? And who are you and I to kid? It settles for the lowest bid. The bottom line is where it goes. That's just the way the money flows. Doesn't matter if it's fair. Now in my new Chinese neighborhood, the people that I meet are good. It's the same thing everywhere. No matter where they come from, friend, they're only people in the end. It's not their fault they had to settle there. People, people, people everywhere. People trying just to be everywhere like you and me, like water flowing to the sea, going where we're meant to be. Water, 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 water everywhere. After all this time, do I have to tell you I'm not guilty of the crimes you accuse me of? What do I have to do to win back your love? If I had to do it all again, would I even be just one whit wiser? Probably not. You have to live with what you've got. My hand hands are empty now. And I'm really not too sure just how we'll ever make amends. Is this the way our story ends? Lovers once, now barely friends. If you ask me why, well, I guess I'd have to try some awkward alibi you disabuse me of. What do I have to do to win back your love? My eyes are open wide, still I cannot see inside my guarded space. If you won't turn to face me, if I had to do it all again, would I even be just one whit wiser? Probably not. What do I have to do to win back your love? Why did I have to go and put myself above you? Darling, what do I have to do to win back your love? Oh, why did I have to go and put myself above you? Darling, well, it's funny. I spent the whole day not hearing anything from upstairs, and now they're like stomping around and moving furniture. I hope that's not the trend. Who knows? Now let's switch gears a little bit here. This is a ragtimey kind of song. I started being the host of the open mic at Cafe Vivaldi about 5 years ago, and I hadn't written a lot of songs. Most of the songs you've heard so far in this set were songs that I wrote after being inspired by all the songwriters, young and old, that I hosted. And I think I did some of my best work. Grandpa was a grifter, a gambler and a heel. He snuck around from town to town and dealt a dirty deal. He went out in the wild world to steal what he could steal. You know he stole a fortune, but the money wasn't real. No, the money wasn't real. Funny how it is, you know now the money wasn't real. He set out as a bandit, he came back empty-handed. He should have been a rich man, but the money wasn't real. Pharaoh was a miser, his story has been told. He had 10,000 workers build a pyramid to hold all his statues and his trappings, his caskets and his gold. He wanted to have everything, but all he got was old, 'cause none of it was real. Funny how it was, you know now, none of it was real. His monument so grand, that's covered up by sand, and now he's just another mummy, man, 'cause none of it was real. A poor man buys a loaf of bread and he shares it and it's gone. A rich man wrecks his portion, yet his wealth keeps rolling on. And the good things that you've said and done are nothing you can pawn. 'Cause when you're in the underclass, you're always overdrawn, 'cause the money isn't real. Funny how it is, you know now the money isn't real. You can follow all the rules made by idiots for fools, and you think you'll get your just reward, but you won't. You won't pick up a penny, oh, but you might spare a dime. A dollar buys a pretty meager way to waste your time. A C note gets you groceries, and a grand might buy a thrill. You might rake in a shitload and still not get your fill. I live in America, a country built on greed, and I suppose that's not a bad thing if you just take what you need. But it seems everyone's afflicted by a hunger to exceed. Why should one man have a billion when there's a million mouths to feed? 'Cause the money isn't real. Funny how it is, you know, now the money isn't real. You can burn it, you can earn it, but in the end you'll learn that it all amounts to nothing. Now I have me a young buddy who is into higher tech. He said he made a fortune, but not in the way you might expect. He made it all in bitcoins, then it bit him on the butt, and now he lives inside a vacant lot in a soggy cardboard hut, 'cause the money isn't real. Funny how it is, you know, now the money isn't real. You can spend it, you can lend it, oh, but in the end you'll find that it all amounts to nothing. Yes, it's funny how it all amounts to nothing. So funny how it all amounts to nothing, 'cause the money isn't. That money is not real. Don't take it seriously. You'll get old young. Take a moment here to play something for you. Now, I'm going to play a bunch of songs from my up-and-coming album, which is called Swimming in Falling Water, which will be released on the day of Friday, and on Bandcamp, and I'll put the information up about Bandcamp on the screen as the song plays. I want you to hear the tasty studio work that my longtime compadre and friend Dan Simpson did for me, the engineering, the mastering and remastering, who also guided me through making better recordings. I make the recordings here, and I shoot the files down to him in North Carolina, and he turns my stuff into something that sounds really, as far as I can see, pretty damn good. So here it is. This tune is called Soon Your Tears Be Over. I'll put up a little promo for you here so you can see what it is and how you can get a hold of it. You'll see that on the right-hand side of the screen there's a picture of somebody swimming in blue water. That's the album, and it will be released on Friday, and this tune is called Swimming in Falling Water. Give me a second, folks. I want to make sure I have the right song queued up here, so I hope you're all doing fine. I hope you're doing fine. Enjoy. In this world of trouble, child, everyone has grown up wild. And sometimes I think there's nothing that can save us. We turned our backs on one another, turned away from earth, our mother, and squandered all the riches that she gave us. In every town and village, deep into the night, in their beds, the restless sleepers turning. Down along the waterways and on the city walls, the nightmen work to keep the watchfires burning. Little darling, don't you have no fear. Don't you worry now, 'cause I'll be here, sure as the white dove that spreads her wings to rise to the light that the morning brings. As sure as the changing of the moon, darling, soon. Soon your tears be over, darling, soon. Soon your tears be over. In these days of hate and war, it's hard to know just who you are, or if there's something greater you belong to. Is there someone who will take your hand, try to help you to understand, or only someone you can sing your broken song too. Sailors on the ocean praying for the sight of land, how they look out to find the lighthouse angels sweeping. Babies in the cradle on the wings of lullaby. Sweet sister, hold her safely in your keeping. Little darling, don't you have no fear. Don't you worry now, 'cause I'll be here. Sure as the white dove that spreads her wings to rise to the light that the morning brings. As sure as the changing of the moon, darling, soon. Soon your tears be over, darling, soon. Soon your tears be over, darling. Soon your tears be over, darling. Tears be over, darling. Soon your tears be over, darling. And that's Soon Your Tears Be Over from Swimming in Falling Water, to be released at Bandcamp. All that information was up on the screen. And you can go to Bandcamp, which is a great site for musicians to sell their songs, because we actually get the lion's share of the money when you buy a song from us there. The album is a mix of songs written over a lot of my basically 2 centuries of songwriting. I mean, I've written in 2 centuries. I don't mean I'm 200 years old, though I feel like it sometimes. This is another tune that we recorded for that. This is played live now, and that was just a taste of what the album itself sounds like. This is a tune that goes back into the 70s when I played with the Central Park Sheiks. Blackbird sitting on a fence post, laughing like he knows some kind of joke. I fail to see what's so funny. My whole world just went up in smoke. Won't you let me in on the joke? Scarecrow dancing in a cornfield, dancing while the wind blows him around. Sometimes I feel like that scarecrow, watching over my dry patch of ground, while the wind just blows me around. There's a strange kind of music in the branches of the trees, like a song on a broken guitar. And those crows on a fence don't make any more sense than some crazy fools in a bar who sing a broke down honky-tonk waltz. Blackbird flies over to the scarecrow. It doesn't scare him a bit. It just sits on his shoulder to mock him and laughs at his own senseless wit. That scarecrow doesn't scare him a bit. Blackbird, fly away from my shoulder. Blues fly away from my heart. I've had your shadow upon me, oh darling, since we've been apart. Blues fly away from my heart. There's a strange melody that hangs in the breeze, like a calliope gone out of tune. And those crows make a song that's all busted and wrong by the cold light of the old crooked moon. They sing a juke, broke down juke, honky-tonk waltz, a broke down honky-tonk waltz, a broke down honky-tonk waltz. The honky-tonk waltz. That's from the 1970s when I played with the Central Park Sheiks. Listeners, identify yourselves. I'd love to know who I'm playing for. I've got 8 of you out there. Just say hi, that's all. You don't have to divulge too much more than that. It's nice to know who I'm playing for. This particular tune goes back to the Sheiks once again, 1970s, when a new visitor there. Very nice. When I played with the Sheiks, I was learning how to play the complicated kind of music they played. Before that, I was kind of a folky, and I had some classical training, but I was just more like a folky than anything else. And they played all kinds of music, including jazz and western swing. So I had to learn about all those jazz chords and stuff, which I kind of took to right away. This is my first attempt to write a swing song, which became the lead song for many of our shows, and the first song on the Central Park Sheiks album, Honeysuckle Rose, which you can find at EMI Records, where it was a giant hit in Japan. I'm a shipwrecked man in a sea of trouble, watching the rain make crazy puzzles on the window pane. In a sea of rain, how do you stay dry? When I'm down, I go put on a record, even if I've heard that song too many times before. I play it one time more, it still makes me cry. She's gone, she left no note, no number to call. She's gone, and lately I ain't seen her at all again, and all I do is watch the rain. She's gone, she left no note, no number to call. She's gone, and lately I ain't seen her at all again, and all I do is watch the rain. And if I were a bird, I'd fly above this rain cloud. Where the sun is shining, I'd be flying high. At least I'd try. Oh, if I were a bird, but I ain't. If you ain't heard, I'm just a shipwrecked man in a sea of trouble, watching the rain make crazy puzzles on the window pane. In a sea of rain, how do you stay dry? Hello, Sam Bryan. How you doing? Shipwrecked man, sea of trouble, how do you stay dry? Cosmic questions for you there. It's very nice to have so many nice listeners. I hope you're all doing well wherever you are in this world. I hope that you're holding up to the things that are going on around us all and loving one another and being kind and doing all the right kinds of ways to deal with these things. While I'm in that sort of chicy kind of vibe, another swing song written sadly long after the Sheiks broke up. I would have loved to hear what the Sheiks did with this. This, once again, can be found on Swimming in Falling Water with a beautiful arrangement that Dan Simpson helped me put together. And it's about the nice things in Key West. It's a song about Key West that doesn't feature waking up with a tattoo. You don't know where you got it or why you put it in that particular place on your body. Now the sun is going down and the tide is coming in, and the breeze that rises on the twilight feels so cool against my skin. Oh, sea breeze, pretty clouds are drifting through the sky. They are lifted up and floating on the instant that I find you standing by my side. Come with me, we're flying on a sea breeze. Seagulls hang suspended as they turn into the wind. Take my hand, my darling, make this moment never end. Sailboats race across the waves, leaving wakes of diamond lace. And the blue moon hides behind the blue sky to remind me of my lover's face. Sea breeze, pretty clouds are drifting through the sky, lifted up and floating on the instant that I find you standing by my side. Won't you come with me? We're flying on a sea breeze. Seagulls hang suspended as they turn into the wind. Take my hand, my darling, make this moment never end. Sea breeze, pretty clouds are drifting through the sky, lifted up and floating on the instant that I find you standing by my side. Won't you come with me? We're flying on a sea breeze. Seagulls hang suspended as they turn into the wind. Take my hand, my darling, let this moment never end. Sea breeze. Nice. Well, let me get a little slug of liquid refreshment here. Check the time. Check the temperature of my computer. It's all good. It's all good. I'll probably only go till 9 o'clock tonight. If you are here and you have a certain hankering to hear something in particular and you know I have it in practice, let me know and I'll try to do what I can to satisfy your appetite for that tune. There's a tune from Salt for Silver. Riding on a northbound train, leave the South behind. Rolling through the blue-gray dawn, and I feel the past unwind. Hills and valleys, streets and alleys, little towns all in a row. People I may never meet, places I may never go. Sometimes feel just like a gambler, gonna watch my fortunes break, or just like some weary rambler, wondering which fork to take. Got my backpack and my guitar, pocket change to pay my way. I bought myself a one-way fare, I'm going home, there I'll stay. Living up to what I said I'd do. Girl, you know I'm coming home to you. Giving up the games I tried to play, coming home to you, and there I'll stay. Play some changes while I'm rolling, looking for words to sing. Take my rhythm from the train tracks, and I wonder what the muse will bring. Fellow travelers in this night car, asking me what songs I play. They sometimes strike a harmony as they pass the rattling miles away. Living up to what I said I'd do. Girl, you know I'm coming home to you. Giving up the games I tried to play, coming home to you, and there I'll stay. Oh yeah. Riding on a northbound train, leave the South behind. Rolling through the blue-gray dawn, feel the past unwind. There you go. Northbound train. Okay. Rattlesnake waits in the shadow of a rock, field mouse hides from the eyes of a hawk, cactus stands like a statue of a man, him and me and my horse named Dan on a dusty road. Indian watching from a switchback ridge, ghost riders running up a cloudy bridge, twilight stealing in a corner of the sky, riding along thinking by and by I'll put down my load. Give me sweet fresh water now, and give me a cool, cool breeze. Let me lay my head down in a grove of shady trees. I'd like a big white house with a pretty little wife inside, and a moonlight palomino I can ride. There's a ghost down where the creek ran dry, buzzard circle in the hard blue sky, dusty old bar, empty bottles in the shelf, piano in a corner that plays itself. It's a spooky sound. I hitched my horse to an old fence rail, fetched up water in a leaky pail. Gonna get out of town before the daylight fails. I don't wanna stick around. Give me sweet fresh water now, and give me a cool, cool breeze. Let me lay my head down in a grove of shady trees. I'd like a big white house with a pretty little wife inside, and a moonlight palomino I can ride. Jackrabbit runs from the scattering stones, blackbird cries to rattle your bones, cow skull laying by a watering hole. Don't drink there, you're gonna lose your soul in the burning sun. I left my home and I can't go back, wildflower growing in a wagon wheel track. Dry wind coming down from the hills, looking for a place a waterfall spills when the day is done. Give me sweet fresh water now, and give me a cool, cool breeze. Let me lay my head down in a grove of shady trees, on a big white house with a pretty little wife inside, and a moonlight palomino I can ride. Morning comes to touch the sky and to wake the sleeping world, to hang the dew upon the blades of grass like strings of pearls. I rise up from my sleep to find you laying by my side, clinging to your last of dreams and breathing like the tide. I won't wake you, I'll just wait and hold you in my eyes, peaceful as a ship of clouds that sails the crystal skies. I'll go and put the kettle on just to make our morning brew. If you were the first to rise, I know that's what you do. If there's ever been a sweeter day, I swear I don't know when, since you came into my life, it's all been new again. All those years I spent alone, just watching time slip by. filling up with emptiness, and taking love to be alive, filling pages up with words just to make our broken song. Never knowing you were somewhere waiting all along. Now there's never been a sweeter day, my lover and my friend, since you chose to take this road. It's all been true again. Now there's never been a sweeter day, my lover and my friend, since you chose to take this road. It's all been true again. I knew again. Wrote that about 5 years ago during a mad gust of songwriting that I did one summer when we were living upstairs in this space. I'm not going to stretch this out too much, folks. Thank you for coming and thank you for listening. I wish I knew who was listening to me, but I'm sure you just don't have access to chat. If you enjoy, and this is your first time listening to me, it's been a long week, so I'm not going to do a long show. I'm kind of pooped. But I do invite you to come back and listen again in the future. And if you know my songs, come armed with some requests. I'm happy to do them. If you know I wrote the song or that I do the song, just ask me and I'll try to do it for you. That said, you can always support the artist at what you see below on your screen. You will see Venmo, William-Lee at Venmo, and my email address where you can either email me directly or send PayPal to that email address. And that's what that is. And happy to do it for you. Happy to be playing music. Always happy to be playing music. What shall I do to sort of tie a ribbon around this? I know. A plastic bag blows down the street, gets tangled in a tree. Chances are another breeze will come to break it free and blow it down the alley through the backlots to the beach, where a child may try to catch it, but it sails right past her reach. It floats out on the ocean and it settles on the tide. A passing whale may follow it and it gets lodged inside. Run, Jenny, run, come look what's washed up on the sands. Come and see the gentle giant that's been slain by unknown hands. It's not your fault and it's not mine. It didn't happen by design. makes us sad, it makes no sense. It's only unintended consequence. An old man has a cardboard shack in a weed-choked vacant lot. He's long since quit regretting all the things he hasn't got. He seeks no help from strangers, he lives as best he can. The people say he's homeless, but I say he's just a man. He comes down to my street and lays a blanket on the ground, and he makes a meager livelihood from things that he has found. He might accept a quarter, he'll settle for a dime, till the police come and stop him 'cause they say that that's a crime. It's not your fault and it's not mine. It didn't happen by design. It makes us sad, it makes no sense. It's only unintended consequence. The hills have caught on fire since the summer brought us drought. The rangers fight it day and night, but they can't put it out. The people here are used to it, it happens every year. When a thing becomes familiar, we lose all sense of fear. The weather lady tells us that there's not much chance for rain. The scientists predicted this, and the Christians all are praying. But as for me, I'll find a quiet hill to watch it from, and practice my acceptance of the things that surely come. It's not my fault, and it's not yours. Sometimes it's parch, sometimes it pours. There's no blame here to dispense. There's only unintended consequence. It's not their fault, and it's not ours. We'll pass the blame to higher powers. Let's just say it was a long chain of events that led to unintended consequence. And that's unintended consequence. I'm going to play exactly until 8 o'clock, which means stick one more song in for you, something more lighthearted than that. Now the bellhop, he don't jump to do the chores. The elevator man's getting drunk between the floors at the Blue Hotel. At the Blue Hotel. Bring along your aunt, meet me by the potted plant in the lobby of the Blue Hotel. Upstairs maid's got something going on the side. The house dick, he's been known to take a bribe at the Blue Hotel. When you're stepping off the street, you'll find the service so discreet. You're always welcome at the Blue Hotel. Oh, when you step down to dine in our luxurious lounge, you'll get the finest meal at the houseken's ground. The chef is deaf, hear the waitress yell. In the kitchen of the Blue Hotel, the house band plays an anonymous bop. They play Savoy and the Bunny Hop. Bus boys in the back room dancing with a mop. In the basement of the Blue Hotel, ring that bell if you want to call the clerk. Knock on the desk if the bell don't work in the Blue. At the Blue. Bring along your aunt, meet me by the potted plant in the lobby of the Blue Hotel. Now the desk clerk's name is Grit Pipe Thin, and he checks you out as he checks you in. He writes your name with a pen on a chain. As he does this thing, you check out the terrain. You see Slippery Sylvester and his sinister maw hanging out in the shadows that lurk in the hall. The eyeballs are moving in a portrait on the wall. In the foyer, way up in the corner by the dusty curtain lining, there's a fat black spider dining. The picture isn't nice. There are poker playing mice behind the baseboards of the Blue Hotel. Ring that bell if you want to call the clerk. Knock on the desk if the bell don't work at the Blue Hotel. Bring along your aunt, meet me by the potted plant in the lobby of the Blue Hotel. Don't steal the ashtrays. And with that, dear friends, I bid you good night. And I thank you so much for dropping in and listening. If you first time here and you haven't done it, please like and subscribe to my site. The more listeners I have, the more likely I am to hit that magic number where I can actually monetize this site. So your help is greatly appreciated in that. Just like and subscribe. No harm will come to you. If you want to get on my mailing list, right at the bottom of the screen right now, you will see my email address. Email me. If you have questions about how you can get a hold of my recorded music, you can email me, or you can go to bandcamp.com and look for Bert Lee, and you will find my 3 albums. One is Salt for Silver, released last year. That was in the early spring. And the second one is The Pop Cycle. That was released in the summer. And the third is coming up on Friday. And you heard several songs for that, including a recorded taste of the really nice production values that it has. So if you're interested in that, just go to Bandcamp and you will find me. And I do thank you for listening, and I wish you all a joyousness in these times.